All right, welcome everyone. I think we'll get started. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alexander Bertel. I'm the editor-in-chief of Caribbean Journal, the world's largest website covering Caribbean travel. Welcome to the latest CJ webinar. We're here today to talk about the island of St. Kitts, one of the most fascinating and still undiscovered places in the Caribbean. It's an island that I've visited countless times, and it feels like every time I go, I uncover another layer to the destination. It's a deep, diverse, rich place to visit, from its natural beauty to its spectacular hotels and its vibrant culture. The purpose of the webinar today is to dive into St. Kitts and to talk about the things that make it unique and explain why St. Kitts needs to be right at the top of your travel radar. I'm joined today by a distinguished group of panelists. Allison Schultz, St. Kitts' sales representative for the Southeast U.S., Cari Abonador-Alexander, Director of Sales, Luxury, and Leisure at the Park Hyatt St. Kitts, and Shariena Mills, Marketing Manager at the Marriott St. Kitts Resort. Let's start off with Allison. Tell us a little bit about what we need to know about St. Kitts right now.
All right, fantastic. Thank you for that warm and welcoming introduction, Alexander and Guy. Good to see you both. Yes, as Alex said, we are a hidden gem, and I think St. Kitts, we do tend to fall off the radar a little bit, but we have so much to offer. And so today, I'm very pleased to share with you some of the highlights and some of the things that make our island so special. So I'm just going to share my screen now, and I'm going to kick it off with a video. So I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy this quick trip to St. Kitts.
De sabia, sabe que Caxinguele, Maracajá, Fonte, Matita, Saci, Perere, Boi, Matá, bicho de série saírem de dentro da mata fechada, só ouvir o grito da noite, salve a noite pela madrugada.
So that's a very quick little, whoops, I'm going to tease you again.
Gotta see it
That's a
again.
very, I love that video so much. I want to show it twice. So that's just a little quick teaser of our wonderful island and all the magical discoveries that you will embark upon when you do come. So St. Kitts and our sister island of Nevis were actually located here on the northern edge of this string of islands known as the West Indies or the Lesser Antilles. We're actually a two-island nation, and our closest large island neighbors you'll find are Antigua and Barbuda to the east and St. Martin to the north. As I mentioned before, we are a two-island nation. So when you enter St. Kitts, you are actually entering the gateway to both St. Kitts and Nevis. We always like to call ourselves dual islands, two islands, but one amazing paradise. There's a 2.5 mile crossing between the two, so it's very easy to do a split stay when you're coming to our islands because both are quite unique and have something to offer for everyone. We are an independent federation, so we're our own independent country, but we are part of the British Commonwealth, so passports are required for US citizens traveling down to our islands. We're a very small destination in terms of population, but big in terms of adventures and experiences. Between the two islands, we have about 54,000 people, and US dollars are accepted on both islands, regardless of where you go. The experience on our islands are quite unique. Our islands do not have all-inclusive resorts. We are not overdeveloped. We are not mass market. I loved what you said in your introduction, Alex, about every time you go there, you discover something new. And I think we are still one of the hidden gems in the Caribbean. No Starbucks, no McDonald's. We are the kind of islands that you go back and really soak in the culture. You learn about the history. We have adventure galore. We have a rich culinary scene. We have a growing wellness scene, as well as a huge romance market. Our demographics vary. The general age group we tend to find in the most high numbers would be anywhere between your 40s and your 70s. But having said that, we get a lot of families, we get a lot of couples, and we're also seeing an increase in solo travelers coming to the island, as well as multi-generational families. I like to say with our islands, they're authentic, they're quintessentially Caribbean, they're very laid back, and they're also very safe. I feel like our islands are what the Caribbean was like 15, 20 years ago. I also say for those of you out there, when you're thinking about our destination for your clients, think of those clients that are asking you about Costa Rica or Hawaii. Those are very much our types of clients because of the experiences that we have to offer. Now, how to get there? We have lots of different options via airlift. Out of North America, we have flights out of the JFK and Newark gateways. We have a flight out of Toronto with Air Canada. We also have a daily service via Miami, which operates every single day of the year. During the peak season, around festive and all the way through to the end of March, our Miami service with American is a double daily service. We also have a Saturday nonstop service with Delta out of Atlanta and a Saturday service direct out of Charlotte straight to the island with American. We've also got quite a bit of airlift in the Caribbean as well. So if you're thinking about island hopping or maybe you're based in the Caribbean, these are some great options as well. And for those of you that may have clients in the UK, we do have a service with British Airways out of London Gatwick. One thing we have implemented this year, which began in early June, we now have an ETA program. What this means is that before you arrive on the island, you complete your electronic travel authorization form, and this helps to expedite the process when you arrive. We are a small island, we have a small airport, we have 4 gates, so sometimes when all those flights arrive at once, the lines through immigration and customs can be quite long. So with our new ETA process, this really is streamlining the process and makes it even quicker. So the sooner you get through the airport, the sooner you can get to that resort, kick back, relax, and grab that cocktail and start to enjoy your time on the island. It is 17 US per person and it is done online. You can do it up to a month before, a week before, or even the day before your arrival. If you forget and you arrive on the island, that is okay. You can do it upon arrival. It just takes a little bit longer. So this is something we really encourage clients to do well ahead of time prior to arriving on St. Kitts. If you're wanting to explore both islands, you can either use St. Kitts as your base and do a day trip over to Nevis, or as I mentioned before, you can do a split stay where you spend time on both islands. Regardless of how you do it, I encourage you to experience both because they're very different. Traveling between the two is very easy. From the south end of the island, where Park Hyatt is located, it's only a 6-minute water taxi. So before you can finish that rum punch they give you on board, you're already on Nevis. We also have a public ferry that leaves from Port Zante, which is about 35 to 40 minutes. And we also have a car ferry that operates a couple times a day. So if you're planning to explore the islands by car, that's another option as well. But it is very easy to organize transport between the two. For those of you that might be arriving by cruise, our Port Zante cruise terminal is where most cruise ships do dock. Our port is much bigger. Nevis's port is quite shallow. So anyone who is arriving via cruise ship will be arriving on St. Kitts. And of course, we are host to all the major cruise lines that come through the Caribbean. We are a very popular destination for cruises because we have so many unique opportunities and so many unique experiences and excursions. I always like to start off with our UNESCO World Heritage Site, Brimstone Hill Fortress. This is an incredible fort. It took over 100 years to build and really kind of showcases the history of sugarcane on the island. Also, in the last 6 months, we've opened up a new restaurant right on top of the fortress with commanding views over the Caribbean called Gibraltar 1762. So it really is quite a fascinating site to visit. You can either walk around the fortress yourself or you can choose to do a guided tour. It really is fascinating, and for history buffs, they will love this excursion. We also have the last remaining scenic railway, or sugar train as we call it, in the Caribbean. This actual railroad are on the original railroad tracks that used to take the sugarcane from the north part of the island down to the sugarcane factory and then to port to be exported to Europe. We restored the tracks, we restored the train, and now this is one of our most popular activities on the island. We have open air carriages on the top, as you see here, and we also have air conditioned carriages below. But what's really unique about this experience is you get to see more of a rural side of the island. You go past sweeping fields of sugar canes, you go in the backyards of schools and churches, and you really get to see these panoramic views of both the Caribbean coast and the Atlantic Ocean. It really is fascinating, and you will also see ruins of old sugar mills and sugar stacks all up throughout the countryside. Our Carabelle Boutique Gallery and Studio at Romney Manor is a charming destination for those who want to get in touch with their inner artist. Batik is the Indonesian art form which uses hot wax and dye, and here at Carabelle Boutique, you can watch the artisans work, or you yourself can take a batik class to learn how to actually create this type of art as well. What's unique about this is that no two designs are the same because everything is done by hand. There's a wonderful studio here in gift shop so you can do some shopping. There's also a wonderful little rum bar and restaurant, or you can just wander around the gardens because they're absolutely spectacular. We also have our Petition Rum Master program. So for those who are really delving into the history of sugarcane, you can learn how this process takes place. You learn about the art of distilling the sugarcane into rum. You will, of course, do some tastings, but you will also learn a lot about the rum trade over the course of time on St. Kitts. We go to Wingfield Estate, which is where Old Road Rum is located, and we also head down to the spice mill where you'll find hibiscus rum. So this is a really fun excursion, and you'll also get to distill your own batch of rum and even label it yourself. So definitely a fun excursion if you enjoy rum. If you enjoy more of a culinary side, we have some wonderful cooking classes at Fairview Great House. This is the home of a French lieutenant colonel that's been restored from the 17th century. We also do some rum tasting here, and it's also a wonderful spot for parties, weddings, and special events. And the views from Fairview are absolutely spectacular, right over the Caribbean Sea. So this is a must if people enjoy the culinary side of a destination. If you like your culinary side a little bit more natural, we have a wonderful new excursion called La Amiga Natural Farm. This takes you high up into the rainforest, one of the more remote sides of our rainforest, and you'd have a farm table experience right in the canopy of the rainforest. You do a tour of the working farm where everything that is grown and harvested there is actually served at breakfast and at lunch. It's a really wonderful experience, and it really is so unique because you feel like you're basically in another world because you're far away from resorts, you're away from the beach, and you're really just in a space where you can truly connect with nature and the bounty that it provides. Again, when I mention our rainforest, I have to give a special recognition to our rainforest on St. Kitts. It is actually expanding. And that's a really amazing thing to be able to say in this day and age when everywhere else seems to be overdeveloping. We're keeping our rainforest nice and preserved. We have plenty of activities. You can go zip lining, you can go hiking, or you can take it in a four-wheel drive tour, which is a little more relaxing. You can do some bird watching. You can even do some AV and ATV tours. So plenty of different options depending how you want to explore our amazing rainforest. And in that picture to the left, you'll see a peak just right at the top of that photo. That's our highest peak, which is Mount La Amiga, which is just under 4,000 feet tall. So if you are interested in hiking, rest assured, get some good hiking boots. Pack your stamina and get a really good guide because it is a very challenging hike, but a very rewarding hike all the same. Of course, being a two-island nation surrounded by the Caribbean and the Atlantic Ocean, we have a plethora of water-based activities. We have stand-up paddleboarding, parasailing, we have kayaking, we have snorkeling, but we also have diving. A lot of people don't realize we have some wonderful dive sites right off our islands. In fact, we have almost 30 shipwrecks off both St. Kitts and Nevis. So a really wonderful destination for adventures both above and below the water. Over on our sister island of Nevis, they also have their fair share of history. Alexander Hamilton was born on the island of Nevis and spent the first 8 years of his life there. So again, for history buffs, this is definitely a must-see. We also have wonderful churches that date back to the 1600s, like you see here in the frame to the right, which is St. Thomas Anglican Church. Tucked away with beautiful views overlooking St. Kitts, and that little church is actually still used today for weddings, christenings, as well as Sunday Mass. So really, really quite unique. It's like stepping back in time. For those who want to get their adrenaline on, do a little bit of adventure, we have some great biking adventures over on Nevis. And we also have a Robert Trent Jones 18-hole championship golf course on Nevis as well, which is adjacent to our Four Seasons property. So some good opportunities there to get active. We also have a lot of wellness activities, not only on Nevis, but also on St. Kitts as well. We have yoga, sound healing, chakra balancing, stargazing, and of course, horseback riding on the beach. Plenty of opportunities for clients to go and kind of reconnect with themselves on both islands. Another nice option, as I mentioned to you earlier in the presentation, is actually exploring yourself, perhaps renting a Jeep or a car and actually driving around the islands to get a feel, stopping when you want to, trying out little local places. I highly encourage that if clients have that sense of adventure and want to do their own thing. The only thing I do mention is that we do drive on the left-hand side of the road, so always a little important nugget of information to have before you rent that car. But if you're not interested, or if your clients aren't interested in renting a car, we have a wonderful taxi system where all our taxis are regulated by the tourism boards, and there's a set price no matter where you go. We also have some fantastic tour operators and DMCs on both islands that can organize special excursions and tours for you. So that's very easy to organize either ahead of time or through the concierge desk at the Marriott and or Park Hyatt, or depending on where your clients stay. So definitely a lot of opportunities. And we really encourage clients to go beyond the resort and explore our island. We're a safe destination. There's so much to do. So really, our mantra has always been go beyond the beach and go beyond the resort to really understand what our destination is all about. And on that note, I'd like to say what's also quite unique about St. Kitts and Nevis is that our islands are volcanic in origin. So in some of the areas of the islands, you'll see white sand beaches, such as in the frame you see here to the left, which is the Marriott Beach. But we also have black sand beaches, which you see here to the right, which is at our Koi Resort by Hilton. So it really just depends where you are on the island, what will determine what the beach is actually like. So again, like Costa Rica, like Hawaii, it's not only the experiences that are similar to those destinations, it's also the geography as well as the beaches. So I always like to kind of point that out because it is quite unique. If you've got clients who are thinking about celebrating their special day on a beautiful tropical island, why not consider St. Kitts or Nevis? We have so many different venues people can choose from. We have no residency requirement. It's really quite a unique destination where someone can get married or do a vow renewal. We're actually seeing a real increase in that as well. Whether it's on a beautiful beach, whether it's in one of our wonderful resorts, or maybe it's on top of Brimstone Hill Fortress. Or maybe for the adventurous couples, they want to get married on the sugar train. There's endless options and everything can be arranged ahead of time. And we do also have a section on our website specifically for romance as well as for dive, for those of you that have divers out there. Dining, we've got a wonderful array of different restaurants, everything from upscale dining like Carambola Beach Club or Pavilion Beach Club, to our more family-run local restaurants like Spice Mill. Spice Mill, as I mentioned before, has the Hibiscus Rum Distillery, but they also have a wonderful cuisine and a fantastic view overlooking our sister island of Nevis. Incidentally, Spice Mill is only a 10-minute walk from Park Hyatt. Spratnet, over here to the right, is a fantastic restaurant run by a local fisherman. It's a favorite with locals and tourists alike. Incredibly fresh seafood and live music a couple times a week. This is a must if you're spending extended time on the island. It's a great restaurant, a lot of fun. We've also got some great restaurants on the Strip, which is actually only a short 5-minute taxi ride from the Marriott or about a 20-minute walk. And the Strip is actually where all of the beach bars and restaurants are located on St. Kitts. You've got one right after the other. So definitely no shortage of dining options or beach bars when you're on our island. And I'll finish up with a few little things about our special events. We have some major events that happen every year, none bigger than our annual music festival, which happens the last weekend in June. This is a fantastic event with music for everyone. This year, our headlining act was Jennifer Hudson. In years past, we've had Mary J. Blige, Burner Boy, but we've even had artists as diverse as Goo Goo Dolls, Air Supply, and Smokey Robinson. So there really is music for everyone. Every March, we hold our cross-channel swim, where contestants from all over the globe will come and compete and then swim from Nevis right over to St. Kitts. It's a fantastic event, and it raises awareness about the importance of learning how to swim. In July, we hold our annual restaurant week, where both islands get behind one specific ingredient, and every restaurant and bar creates something just to celebrate that ingredient. And the picture you see there, that year it was papaya. In years past, we've had plantain. So it really is a lot of fun. And if you're planning to travel in the summer months, there's always something going on. We also have our carnival celebration right after Christmas in late December into early January. This is a lot of fun, and we encourage clients when they're visiting to don some feathers, sprinkle some glitter, and join in the fun. So it really is a wonderful opportunity to do some carnival celebrations. And if you are out there and you are a travel advisor excited to learn more about our destination, I would encourage you to complete our Destination Specialist Training Program. You'll find the link there. It's through Trav Pros. It's a fantastic program, very interactive. You can do it from your phone or your laptop, and it really digs even deeper into our destination. And if you do make bookings, be sure to log them. Let us know. It'll put you on our radar, and it helps us to know what clients are traveling and what we can do to make their time even more special. And last but not least, I've listed our websites there, our visitstkitts.com, as well as our nevisisland.com. So you can dig even deeper into our destinations by visiting either of those two websites. And last but not least, our little team here, our St. Kitts tourism team is growing. We have 4 of us here. Deborah is up in the Northeast. I'm down here in the Southeast, and my colleague Jean Marie is going to be based in Midwest. And then, of course, my colleague Danielle is based on the island, but oversees all of North America. So we're all here for you, so don't hesitate to reach out. We're excited that you're here today. We really appreciate your time and your investment in learning about our wonderful destination. So I thank you for your time, and without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague Cari from Park Hyatt, and then after that, Shariena from the Marriott.
Thank you so much, Allison.
Thank you, Allison. So welcome, everyone. Thank you for your time today. I'm Cari Abonador-Alexander, and I'm based in Miami. So hopefully I'll get to meet some of you that are locals, one of the events. We'll start off with showing you a quick video of our resort, and then we'll go from there. Thanks, Allison, for sharing.
You're welcome. Enjoy.
Thank you. So if I may share my screen now. Perfect. So Park Hyatt St. Kitts. This is our very first Park Hyatt hotel in the Caribbean, and we opened it in 2017. Everything that you see at the resort is a replica of what you're going to see in the island. So we sit on a 25-acre beachfront property in the southeast of the Caribbean. And when they designed the resort, they really incorporated a lot of the history of the island. So what you're seeing here is a replica of the brimstone in our adults only pool area. So in terms of clientele, originally we thought it was going to be an adults only honeymooner kind of destination. But since we opened the resort, we actually have seen a lot of families, multi-gens, solo travelers coming into our island and our hotel. We have a total of 124 rooms. As you've seen in the video, we are multiple 3-story high buildings shaped like a crescent round. So 99% of our rooms have a view of the water and of Nevis. True to the core of Park Hyatt, it has a very residential feel. So you'll see a lot of like plantation home feel to it with a very modern and contemporary design. So our guest rooms, it's either king bedded or queen queen. We also have options to connect. So king can connect to queen queen. Suites can connect to either king or queen queen. Every room, you either have a walkout patio, or if you're on the second level, you have a balcony. Every bathroom at the resort will have a separate soaking tub and a separate shower. So out of 124 rooms, we have 44 suites. Majority of them are on the third level of our buildings. So you have your plunge pool suites, where you have a separate living room area and a bedroom. You also have your own private pool and a deck. because we've seen a lot of multi-gens and families coming to the destination, we actually had an enhancement of our suite products last year. So all of our pull-out couches in our suite, oh, sorry, all of the sofas in our suites are now pull-out couches. So families will now have the flexibility to keep the kids in the room or get a separate room for them. Our villas are also enhanced. So we now have 3 villa products. You have the option to book our biggest villa, our 3-bedroom presidential villa, closest to the beach. So you can easily walk out and come back into your villa. Or we do have 2 of our bi-level villas, which is a 1-bedroom that can be connected to a queen, so it can be a 2-bedroom. All of our villas will have indoor-outdoor kitchen. It also has a laundry facility in the villa, so families will have the option to wash their clothes or dry their clothes prior to coming home. And it has an outdoor space, so you can easily grill out if you want. All of the villas will also have its own pool. Again, tying into multi-gens coming to the destination or group of friends vacationing together, we now have a program called Park Reserve Collection, where we can block the group in one building. So you have the option to book 5, 6, or 9-bedroom configuration. So you'll have the luxury of privacy in your own room and yet be connected to your group because you are in one building. What's unique about it is that because of this program, that there's enhanced amenities, like you have a dedicated concierge for the group. There's a family style welcome amenity that can be found in the top suite. So upon your arrival, the entire family can congregate in the top suite. There's also the option to have a cabana, a private cabana for the group per stay. If you are part of a consortia program, every room will get the amenities. The only difference is that the pricing is based on the building. As for dining option, we do have 3 restaurants on site. Stone Barn is our fine dining restaurant. It used to be an adults only fine dining restaurant, but it's now going to be family friendly. And then we have our Fisherman's Village. This is our take on the huts that used to surround the island. This is where you can have your Caribbean lobster and seafood dishes. And then Great House, where everyone congregates, is our all-day dining option. So you do have an indoor-outdoor option, and then you have that great view of Nevis. Aside from that, if you have clients that are celebrating or wants to have a special meal, they can do a destination dining, or we can have a prefix menu for them, and they can have the dining option either at our Great House deck, our sugar mill, or in one of our cabanas. In terms of activities, because we are on the Caribbean side, you can easily paddleboard, kayak, and snorkel from our beach. If you're traveling with children, we do have our Camp Hyatt, our island fort, where you have an indoor-outdoor space for the children. As you can see here, there's a wall climbing area for them. It's very spacious for the size of our resort. And then those that want to be more active, we have 2 pickleball courts. We also have a half-court basketball court. And on top of that, we do share a weekly activity that would include, for example, sip and paint activity or steel pan lessons for your guests. For our spa, we have our Sugar Mill Spa and Sanctuary. The Sugar Mill that you're seeing here is a replica. And here you can do yoga, you can do sound bath, you can do meditation. We have 9 treatment rooms in our spa, and 3 of them are couples room with indoor-outdoor space. And then this is just an overview of the resort. So we back into the mountain overlooking Nevis and the water. It's really ideal, as Allison mentioned earlier, folks that are looking for an immersive type of experience, this is a great spot to go. Any offers that we have, you can see it in the different consortia program. So feel free to reach out when you have time. Thanks, Alex.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cari. And now we're going to shift to another property on the island, the St. Kitts Marriott, and Shariena is going to tell us more about that.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Shariena, and I am the marketing manager here at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort. I am a proud Kittitian. I love talking about the island and growing up here and visiting the Marriott when I was little, so it's actually a dream to be working here now. So our property is the St. Kitts Marriott Beach. So we have a beach resort, we have a casino, and we have a spa. We are about 389 guest rooms. We are the largest resort on island, and we have 69 suites, 8 restaurants, 4 bars, and event spaces that total about 15,000 square feet. We have both indoor and outdoor activity or outdoor event space. We do have a spa. We have our championship golf course, and we have our ocean view pool. We have a 35,000 square foot casino, fitness center. We have our gym, and we're about 12 minutes away from the only airport, the Robert Llewellyn International Airport here in St. Kitts. So Allison touched on airlift. So we are pretty easy to get to, especially from the US and Canada. And we are a perfect central location for any kind of client that you might have. So at the property, we welcome families, but we love couples, we love solo travelers, we love pretty much every age group that wants to see a hidden gem island. So we reflect that on the property. Okay, so like I said, we have 320 guest rooms with ocean, pool, or resort views. Our guest rooms, you may request a king or double with maximum occupancy of 4 persons in a room. Most of the rooms and suites are connecting, which is perfect for families and friends that wish to stay close by. So you can request that when you're making your reservations. All our rooms, except the garden view rooms, have a private balcony or patio. So each room comes with a standard mini fridge, safety box, coffee and tea station, iron and ironing board, flat screen TV, direct dial telephone, and individual climate control, and of course, luxurious bedding. Sorry. So our suites, we have 69 suites on property. We have 1, 2, and 3 bedroom suite options, and those are resort views. So those give you a view of the resort. We sell rooms by views, so this is why you're going to see most of the views here. So it's ocean suites that have a view of the Atlantic Ocean. We have the Royal Mountain View suites, and we have the Royal Ocean View suites, and our suites are awesome. If you can look by the picture, this is Ocean View suite right here that you can see the beautiful Atlantic Ocean right there, and it has a view of our main pool also when you go out on the balcony. And the 1 and 2 bedroom villas come with a full kitchen, dining area, washer, and dryer. Right, so this is one of our ocean view rooms. Again, it's a view of the Atlantic Ocean. We do have our beach, which is called a Royal Beach, and this is the view that you would get in an ocean view, and you also get a view of the main pool, which is central on our property. Right, this is one of our pool view rooms, which you get a view of. This is the south pool, and you also get one with the north pool. We have 3 pools on property, if I didn't mention that before. Okay, so this is a resort view room, so you get a lovely view of the surrounding area of the mountains and Frigate Bay and the lovely green scenery, because St. Kitts is probably one of the greenest islands I've been to in the Caribbean, and it stays green pretty much 365 days of the year. All right, so this is our garden view. This is the only room that doesn't come with the private balcony or patio. You get more of the garden area when you're staying in the garden view room. All right, so like I mentioned, we have 8 options for dining and 4 bars. So we're gonna go through those. This is our steak and seafood restaurant, and it's called Fire. You know, it's one of my favorite places to eat when I'm here on property. It showcases a new style steakhouse. We have modern decor. The menu is really, really good. I love the steak. Well, I love a good steak. And I love seafood also. My favorite, of course, is lobster, being an island girl. Right? So you can get that at our Fire restaurant. La Cucina is an Italian restaurant here on property, and it's a combination of the simplicity of real Italian cooking with more like refined flavors. And I really love the pasta here. I'm a pasta lover. And we do wood fire pizzas also at this restaurant. So this is our cafe. So Cafe Calypso. It's a bright, lofty area. It's very laid back. You can have a smoothie before you work out. You can have a muffin. You can have banana bread, which was my favorite also. You can have your morning coffee. You can stay here pretty much from morning, and it closes at midnight. So if you feel like a smoothie at midnight, we're open. So this is our breakfast restaurant, so Calypso Restaurant, where Caribbean warmth meets international comfort. It's your go-to spot for our breakfast buffet and a la carte selections. So here, the guests love our breakfast selections. It's a mix of American continental with, of course, local options. My favorite local option is, of course, the roasted breadfruit and saltfish. And the Johnny cakes, of course. We can't not try the Johnny cakes when you're here. So if you love to try different foods and you're a breakfast lover, Calypso has everything that you would need for. And this one is open from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. So it's only for breakfast. Bohemia Beach Pool Bar and Grill. So this is a laid back outdoor eatery with views of the ocean and the hotel pool. So it's central to the ocean and the pool. So if you feel like dipping in the pool, there's a bar. There's an in-pool bar right there at Bohemia. And if you want to hop, skip, and step over to the beach, it's right there also. And this is more for our lunch menu. And sometimes during the season, the high season, we do offer dinner or supper options. Okay, the drinks are awesome here too, by the way. And this is our great room lobby bar. So Arwi is a Kittitian word that means all of us. So you learned some Kittitian slang right now. And it's a place where you come and you lounge. If you probably got here early and you haven't checked in yet, you can sit at RV, and they have happy hour from 5 to 7, and they open at 3. And it's an awesome space just to relax. And they have karaoke at nights on Thursdays, and they have live music on Fridays and Sundays in RV. And the good thing about RV is it also has a sushi bar for the sushi lovers, right? So it's 2 in 1. All right, and of course we have Pizza Shack. This is my daughter's favorite. It's fresh local ingredients with awesome pizza and signature toppings. The barbecue chicken is really good here too. All right, so this is our newest event space. It's the newly renovated Beach House event space, and we're excited about this one. This is going to be launched this month. I would say in the next week or so, we're going to have the grand opening of the Beach House. So as you can see, it's full airy glass with perfect views of the Royal Beach, the Atlantic Ocean right there. And on the other side, you have a full view of our main pool. So this one is our favorite right now. And whether you're planning an intimate celebration like a small wedding or a corporate or group event, or looking for one of our signature offerings. So we're going to have events in there like Kittitian night, where we serve local Kittitian food, Kittitian music. We're going to have Saturday brunch, where you can listen to music and just eat and relax and look at the beautiful views of Royal Beach or the pool. And we're excited about this one. So this is in about a week or 2, we should be in full swing. So we're taking bookings for the Beach House events right now. All right, so we have tons of experiences on property, not just off, but if you do or you're looking for something on property, we do offer we have a golf course, we have our spa, Emerald Mist Spa, we have 3 pools, like I mentioned, on property. We have our own when I say on beach, it's accessible to guests here, but we have our palapas here. They're you don't have to pay for them. They're all free because that's one question that we usually get about the resort. And these are accessible by all guests. Okay. We have our gym, and of course, we have our 35,000 square foot casino. And there's a bar lounge also called Sky Lounge in there. Okay. So Royal St. Kitts Golf Club showcases its link style par 71 golf course with 18 championship holes. And if you're into golf, it's some of the most beautiful, picturesque, scenic views I've ever seen. I just took up golf the other day, and I think I look at the views more than I play golf right here. So for the golf enthusiast, this is perfect. And our spa, it's a unique experience. So if you want to relax and be pampered on property, it's luxurious. We have our sauna, we have our cold and hot plunge pools. We have mani and pedis. We do offer hair services. Yeah, it's one of my favorites also. We have 3 pools on property. We have our north and south pools, which are perfect for private hospitality areas if you want to have a group event there. And our main pool offers scenic views of the Atlantic Ocean. So you can actually see it from our main pool. And the main pool is where most of the activities take place. We have aquafit, we have water aerobics, we have bingo in the water, we have movie nights in the pool. So the main pool, we have live music in the pool. So this is where it happens throughout the day, right? So the palapas, like I mentioned, on the beach are accessible to all guests. If you do, we do have private cabanas that you can rent at our main pool. So that's an option also. This is a video showcasing the different pools on the property and the beach. So this one would be our main pool. This is our beach right here, the Atlantic Ocean. Again, this is the main pool with the property, the main building in the background here. Right. So fitness, you can do sunrise yoga on the beach, or we have a state-of-the-art gym that you can, if you're one of those visitors or travelers who likes to work out when you're on vacation also. Right. Our casino, we have, if not the largest Vegas-style casino in the Caribbean, probably the closest to it, right? So we have 35,000 square feet of casino space, and it's one of the higher paybacks on the slot machines versus other Caribbean locations. And within the casino, you actually have a lounge and a bar. It's called Sky Ultra, and it's located inside the casino. So when you walk through the casino doors, the lounge is on your left-hand side, and it's sleek. You can watch the games in there. They do game night. We can watch football. I know NFL season has started, so they usually have a Super Bowl party there if you're interested in football. And the cocktails are amazing in there too. All right. So usually guests ask us what our favorite unique off-property experience is, and I usually say the train or the St. Kitts Scenic Railway, the sugar train, because no other Caribbean island has it. In fact, I don't think any other island has a train that takes you from the north of the island, which is more rural and green and more down to earth, right into Bastyr, which is the city the capital city. Right, so that's our favorite experience off property that we usually recommend. All right, so we have tons of meeting spaces, like I said. These are all of them listed here, and I'm going to go through them real quickly. This are all the dimensions of our meeting spaces. The ballroom, of course, being the largest, and we have down to a small meeting room called Montserrat. And this is something interesting that all our rooms have names of neighboring islands. If you notice, St. Kitts, Nevis, Antigua. Right. So this is our Grand Plaza, and it's located outdoor in the center of the property. And it's a great alternative to host large outdoor receptions. And this is where we have our New Year's Eve party every year. Royal Beach, of course, who doesn't love a beach wedding or a beach anniversary party or any party on the beach? And it hosts a stunning backdrop of the Atlantic Ocean, and we can create any atmosphere from a casual soiree to an extravagant outdoor fiesta for you. And this is our ocean view terrace. Again, it's outdoor, but it's covered. So it's safe from the elements and the weather. And it overlooks the main pool. And you can also see the Atlantic Ocean in the background from the ocean view terrace. So this one is more for private, intimate events. This is our Cascade gazebo. It's romantic, it's private, it's intimate. It's perfect for small weddings or engagement proposals, anything like that. This is Westbury Lawn. The views are awesome for a backdrop for small, intimate weddings again. This is the North Pool. Again, it's overlooking the ocean and the North Pool, and it's a perfect climate for a small but, tropical event. And this is our cockleshell lawn again. It overlooks the ocean with the palm trees right in the background. And it's a stunning event it can do 80 persons for a reception and 40 for banquet style. So a smaller outdoor event. And this is our royal ballroom. It can fit 750 in a reception style or 480 banquet style. So it can accommodate your larger events or meetings, and we can do classroom style. We can do pretty much any seating configurations in our ballroom. So there are 3 partitions to our ballroom. So if you do want to make it smaller, we call it St. Kitts, Nevis, and Antigua, and we separate them. So if you want a smaller room, we can also accommodate that, but it's the ballroom. So like I said, this is St. Kitts, and it's just part of the ballroom. There are 3 sections, St. Kitts, Nevis, and Antigua. All right, and Montserrat is our boardroom style meeting room, and it can accommodate about 12 persons for a conference or 12 for a U-shaped style meeting. And this is Grenada. Grenada, St. Lucia, Dominica, and St. Vincent are our medium-sized meeting rooms. And these are perfect for workshops. So if you have a group event that, you need 140 persons to fit in a reception style or 70 persons in a banquet style. All right. And we do offer catering and options for off-property events. So this is one that we did at Brimstone Hill. So that's an option too. If you want to go off-site, we do offer that option. All right, so like I mentioned, this is the beach house. It's supposed to be open in October. And like I said, we're very excited about the beach house. And it's one of the event spaces that's not like anything else on island. So we're looking forward to hosting many intimate and signature events right here. All right, this is a video of our property. So of course we have a main building and then we have villas on property. So the main building, that's the big building that you're seeing in the video, and then the smaller buildings would be our villas. We call them villas, but they're not actual villas. They're sold by room also, or suites. Okay. And then we have one more video. Thank you for listening.
Awesome. Thank you, Shariena. And thank you, Cari and Shariena in particular, for giving us a really good education on 2 of the best places to stay in St. Kitts. I want to just close by going around the panel and asking each of you just to talk about sort of one thing you'd love for people to take away from this, or one thing that you would want a traveler to know about St. Kitts. Allison, I'll start with you.
Well, I think one of my favorite aspects of traveling to our destination is that when you get there and you do venture out of the resort and you kind of do your own exploration, and if you go to a little local beach bar or a restaurant or even the grocery store, you will be there with other tourists, but you will be there with locals as well. And I think that's my favorite aspect of it is that you're there, you're not separated, right? In some destinations, like the tourists are in one section and the locals are somewhere else, and that is not the case on either island. So I feel like when you go, you really connect with people, you make friends, and you kind of build bridges between cultures and countries. And I think we need more of that today. So that's one of my favorite aspects of our islands.
For sure. Cari?
I think it's kind of tied similarly to what Allison said. Not too many Caribbean islands can say they're very safe and secure. I think one of the beauty of St. Kitts is aside from its charm, right? It still has that authentic feel to it. And as savvier of a traveler you are, and the more of immersive experiences that you want when you travel, this is kind of the feel that you're gonna get in St. Kitts. And even for our hotel, though we have three restaurant options, and as a Hyatt, we have awesome F&B experiences that we can offer. We really encourage people to go out and explore the island because it's just a place that you want to experience and see. So I think that's my favorite about St. Kitts.
Thanks. Shariena?
To tie into what Allison and Carrie were saying, it's I'm Kittitian and I say we're probably some of the most friendly, authentic, genuine people that you would meet on any island. We're small, so we're forced to love each other more. It's about 50,000 of us here. And on property here at the Marriott, you get that feeling. It's literally it comes off the property and comes on the property that we kind of treat you like family. It's very like inclusive, it's immersive, as Carrie said, and it's not like the big islands where you get lost in the culture. You get immersed in it here. So we love that about us, and we love that when you come, you get to feel that here too.
Thank you, Shariena. Yeah, just to echo that. I mean, it's really a unique place, and while it's small, there's kind of really a whole universe of things to do. And if you've been to the Caribbean, you'll see things that you might recognize, but there's a lot too that's really unique to St. Kitts. Like Allison said, there's parts of Hawaii, there's parts of other destinations that you get that, and it's a really interesting mix that's kind of hard to find in the travel landscape these days. Well, I hope this has given you a glimpse into all of the things that make St. Kitts such a unique and wonderful place to visit. We're going to be recording this and publishing this webinar. If you want to refer to it in the coming days, if you want to send it to your friends or your colleagues, you're welcome to. We hope you do. And if you have any questions, feel free to email us and we'll try and get them to the right people. I want to thank, again, all of our wonderful panelists, Allison Schultz, Cari Abonador-Alexander, and Shariena Mills. Thank you so much for taking your time, and to the audience, and thank you guys for giving us your time this afternoon. And hope we see you soon in St. Kitts.